Good evening. The time is 8 p.m. Central. This is KI5PZN, that's Kilo India 5, Papa Zulu November, bringing you the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net. We're here every Wednesday night on the University Link Repeater System, frequency 441.325, tone 97.4, transmitting from the University of Texas in Austin, covering the greater Austin area. Please visit KA5D.com to learn more about the University Link Repeater System. This net is also heard through the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Repeater System. Please visit n5oak.org for more information. If you're using the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Repeater System, be sure your tone is set to 114.8. You can also find us on Echolink by connecting to KA5D-R or N5OAK-R. For All-Star, use node 51444. This is KI5PZN. My name is Ernesto, and I'll be your net control for this evening. Matthew is under the weather, so I'm filling in for him. This is a control net, meaning stations should refrain from transmitting until designated check-ins or coming times. We will not have any scheduled pauses for emergency traffic, but we'll yield the air to any break-in emergency. With that in mind, please leave room between check-ins and transmissions to allow for any emergency traffic. If you're having an emergency during this net, please say break, and we'll pause the net and we'll try to help. The UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net is a social net with the purpose of getting a great group of radio operators together to share knowledge, discuss the club activities, ask questions, and just generally keep in touch. All hams are invited, both new and experienced. Super easy to check into this net. In just a little bit, I'm going to ask for check-ins, and I'll take down a list of all of you that want to say hi. Once I have everyone checked in, I'll go down the list one at a time and give you the floor. Feel free to ask questions pertaining to ham radio or any other interesting family-friendly subject. Tell us about something you've been working on. This is the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, hosted by the University of Texas Amateur Radio Club, callsign M5XU. Every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. here on the KA5D repeater system and through the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. If you're just joining us and you wish to participate, be sure your tone is set to 97.4. If you're using the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system, be sure your tone is set to 114.8. My name is Ernesto, KI5PZN, and I'm your net controller for tonight's net. Are there any announcements from the club members? If so, please come in with your name and call sign. Alright, nothing heard. Alright, you can visit the UT calendar online at calendar.utexas.edu, calendar.utexas.edu for upcoming events and announcements. If you are a UT student and want to join the UT Amateur Radio Club, send an email to n5xu@utlist.utexas.edu. I have an announcement before we get to short time check-ins, and it's that this Saturday we will be having an in-person ARL's testing session here in North Austin at 10 a.m. in the Wells Branch area. It's on the Municipal Utility District building, mud building on Wells Branch. If you would like more information, you can shoot me an email. And my email address is KI5PZN, that's Kilo India 5, Papa Zulu November, @gmail.com, and I can shoot you the information for that session. it's time for short time check-ins. Short time check-ins means operator who could not stay for the entire net. I will not open the floor for comments or questions for the short times after their turn. That way you can say hi and you can go on and do your thing. All right, well, let's do short time check-ins. So if you would like to do short time check-ins, call in with your name and call sign.
This is WZ5BBS, short time, no traffic on Echolink.
All right. Got a one short time here. WZ5BBS, Rusty, with no traffic through Echolink. Thank you for calling and checking into tonight's net. Yeah, your audio was a little bit low there. I thought for a second I had here the wrong antenna or something, but thank you for checking in. All right, anybody else would like to call in for a short time? If you do, please call in with your name and call sign.
This is Kilo Golf 5 Kilo Victor Julia, KG5 KVJ Garrett and Buda, no traffic.
All right. Garrett, KG5 KVJ with no traffic. Thank you, Garrett, for checking into tonight's net. Anybody else would like to call in for a short time check-in? All right. Thank you, Rusty and Garrett, for checking in, calling in as short timers and checking in. Appreciate you guys calling in. All right, we're going to move to regular check-ins, but first let me do a station ID. This is the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, hosted by the University of Texas Amateur Radio Club, callsign N5XU, every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. here on the KA5D repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. If you're just joining us and wish to participate, be sure your tone is set to 97.4. If you're using the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system, be sure your tone is set to 114.8. My name is Ernesto, KI5PZN, and I'm your net control operator for tonight's net. All right, regular check-ins, come in with your call sign and name.
This is N5LX in Oak Hill.
This is Kilo India 5 Romeo Bravo Tango, Kent and Pflugerville.
All right. Sky and Kent, appreciate you guys checking in. All right, well, let's go and talk to Sky and 5LX. Sky, what's going on, man? How's everything going?
Hey, Ernesto and 5LX. It's good. The weather was just beautiful today. I had all the windows in the house open, and that was one of the coolest things, getting outside, but also having the outside in my house. But no, I'm always working on something. I don't want to bore you guys with it, but I'm having a good day.
Well, awesome, dude. Yeah, no, it was really nice weather. I know I also had the windows open and doors open. It felt like I have AC inside the house, even though everything was open. It was really nice. I mean, I have to work from home, and I'm inside most of the day, but, well, all day, I guess. But, yeah, I felt really good. I have a question for you. Did you finish your loop antenna? Back to you, Sky.
Yeah, I'm actually still waiting on some parts, but I've been doing it a little at a time with with what I have, and it's coming along. It's kind of a slow process. I mean, I've pretty much got the design down, which took me a while to design it because you have to do kind of a piecemeal design because there's no exact way to do it. You have to kind of figure it out on your own. And every time I would just look at all these parts and stuff, and when I'd figure out a new part that might work, then I'd have to kind of design around it, and so it's like putting together a big puzzle. But it's coming along, and I kind of got sidetracked today. I was doing research on shielded magnetic loop antennas for receiving, because apparently they have really good properties when it comes to rejecting electrical, like local electrical noise. And so I was looking at what they call a Mobius loop with a little preamp on it, and I'd actually like to build one of those too. But it's like I keep putting more and more stuff on my plate, and so the challenge is to finish those things. But I'm still waiting on a couple of parts.
Right on. And this loop, this antenna that you are building, what bands does it cover? Back to you.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but at least on paper it looks like it will. I'm tuning it primarily, optimizing it for 15 meters, but I think it'll work on 10 meters as well, maybe with not quite as good efficiency for transmitting. It should be able to handle quite a lot of power for a mag loop because I'm using a really high voltage vacuum variable capacitor, and it's made out of 7/8 heliax. It'll be pretty cool when I get it done, and I think I've mentioned it before, but if it seems like it works really well, I've kind of got a design down on paper and quite a few parts to actually motorize the vacuum capacitor, and if that works, I might even put the thing on a rotor.
That's pretty neat, man. The reason why I was asking you because I'm reading the ARL antenna book, and I finished I think the third or fourth chapter, and it was all about theory about what's happening with the bands and the planet and the sun and everything, and basically teaching you how everything works. And I'm now on the first chapter about antennas, actual antennas, and that chapter is about loops. And I thought about you because I remember you building one, and yeah, it seems like they're very good antennas. It's funny as I'm reading the book, things are starting to make sense. It's one thing is to pass the exam, and another thing is to sit down and actually pay attention and learn and understand the material. But yeah, I'm really curious when you finish that antenna to see how it performs, because it sounds like they're really, really neat. So yeah, man, is it a big antenna? As far as the length. Back to you.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's only going to be about 1 meter in diameter, roughly, and I can't remember what the circumference is, like 11 feet or something like that. But I'm kind of with you, but I really have no idea how well it's going to perform. I know I have a kind of a cheap magnetic loop receiving antenna with a preamp on it. It works as good as a dipole, if not better. It has pretty good performance, and it's just sitting here in my bedroom. I spin it around. It's from what I've read, it sounds like one of the big advantages is with a mag loop. It's a lot more trouble if you want to transmit, because you have to have a capacitor that can handle the high voltage, and it's kind of convoluted, process to build it because there's no cheap commercially available one. But it's about the same performance as a dipole, maybe a little bit better for receiving, but it doesn't occupy as much space. It's a pretty small space, and it doesn't have to be really high above the ground. So I think that's the big advantage.
awesome, man. If you have it ready, if it's finished by the time we have the meeting with the Oak, will be really cool to see it. I mean, if it's convenient, but yeah, it'll be, or at least if you can post pictures once you have it finished, because I would like to see that and then yeah, I'll be really interested also on the review. Back to you.
Yeah, I should have it finished. I won't have the motorized part of it done, but the other part of it will probably definitely be finished by then. And yeah, I'd be glad to share that with everybody. It'll be on a little aluminum tripod. Hopefully, I mean, if it works okay, it should be fun to use, like for portable. I don't know, for like POTA or just like going out to a state park or something, or anywhere outside. And one of the things that I'm kind of looking forward to is getting away from the house because of all the RFI, the interference around here.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I have a lot of noise around here. Too many things happening around the house. But awesome, dude. I'm glad to hear that those things are happening and the antenna is happening as well. I'm gonna be also, and I'm gonna post that on Discord, but I'm gonna be putting my Fox out there this weekend. So I'll be. I still haven't thought about the plays where I'm gonna put it, but I'll try to come up with the plays and I'll let you guys know on Discord so you guys can play if you guys are interested and available. All right, let me open the floor for comments and questions. So does anybody have any questions or comments for Sky? If so, please call in with your name and call sign.
This is Kilo Golf 5, Kilo Victor Juliet.
All right, Garrett.
Hey, Sky, so you're talking about a high voltage capacitor. I've got a spare capacitor out of a microwave. Do you think that would work for you? Yeah, it probably would. I mean, I already have one. It's a commercial grade vacuum variable capacitor. They're kind of, I had two of them. I had one that was surplus, and it had a short in it, so I ended up getting a new one, and I got a real good deal on it, but they're kind of expensive. But no, I've got one. I appreciate the offer. N5LX. Roger that. KG5, KVJ, back to net.
Awesome, Garrett. Thank you for your comment there and the offer. Awesome. All right, anybody else have any questions or comments for Sky? If so, please call in with your name and call sign. All right. Sky, do you have anything else for the net before I let you go?
No, I'm good. Thanks, Ernesto, for hosting the net, and also for the fox hunts, the many fox hunts you've hosted, and the ones that you'll host in the future. They're always a lot of fun. In particular, I remember, I like them all, but one that kind of sticks in my mind is, I think you did it. There was like a utility box on the side of a power pole, and it looked like official. I thought that was pretty clever.
That was Jeffrey. He's a sneaky one. That was Jeffrey. Mine are usually easy. Back to you.
That's all. Thanks, Ernesto. N5LX.
All right, Sky. Thanks again for checking into tonight's net. It's always good talking to you, my friend. I will talk to you soon. All right, well, this is the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, hosted by the University of Texas Amateur Radio Club, callsign N5XU, every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. here on the KA5D repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. If you're just joining us and you wish to participate, be sure your tone is set to 97.4. If you are using the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system, be sure your tone is set to 114.8. My name is Ernesto, KI5PZN, and I'm your net control operator for tonight's net. Man, I'm rusty on this script here. All right, well, we're going to go and check with Ken, KI5RBT. Ken, what's going on, my friend? And thanks again for helping me out. What's going on, man?
This is KI5RBT. That's what I was going to complain about, is that I was taking a nap whenever you sent that message to me, and I was just like, okay, sure. And then I realized afterwards, oh man, I committed myself to doing something. But I'm doing it. That's fine. I've already been gathering some data up for the news. But yeah, today, like Sky said, today's been a really nice day. I can't say I actually went outside. I had a lot of good work meetings and stuff going on, and mostly I've been playing with my new 3D printer. I got an AnchorMake M5, and I'm printing everything I can get my hands on. I'm printing stuff for my son right now, and I'm going to make let me give a break to the repeater for a second. Speaking of loop antennas, I've got an Arrow antenna fox hunt loop VHF. It's like a 6-inch squared loop, and I'm going to print a handle for it so I can use it with an HT for fox hunting, and hopefully get out. Maybe not this weekend, maybe next weekend, and do some fox hunting and try this out with the attenuator and everything. And I'm just going to figure out the mess of cables and stuff to go between the HT and the BNC connector on the bottom of the antenna. But that's really about it. Back to net. KI5RBT.
Awesome, dude. Paul carried one of those. He carries one of those little loops antenna, and he has it. His son he has it mounted on a piece of like plywood, a tiny little piece of wood, I guess. And then he also mounted there the little attenuator, and then he plugs in his HT. It's like a little thing that he MacGyvered together. But those are really nice. Those antennas are really nice. I've seen them in action, and they give a really nice null. So they're really good. They're fun. And what I like about them is that it's not like the one that I carry. It's heavy because the frame is like PVC, PVC pipes and everything else. And when you compare it to like the one that Rusty carries around, which is an Arrow antenna, it's like super, it's like a feather light compared to mine. So those little loops are really good and fun for fox hunting for sure. Are you doing the handle? You doing the 3D printing that handle? I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, I was thinking about trying to find something that looks like almost like a bicycle handle grip, with a place for your fingers, and kind of make a spot in there for the frame so that the BNC can sit down there and run the wires through the middle of it. But I'll see if I can find something pre-built. If not, I'll fire up Fusion 360 and figure out how to do it myself. So it's a challenge. It's kind of like throwing your head across on the other side of the fence, and then you have to go across the fence. So I've got to give myself a challenge, or I won't do it. KI5RBT.
Well, awesome, dude. Yeah, let's, if you don't mind sharing those pictures too, of the antenna and the handle once you have that up and running, and also the review. I want to know how it works. I mean, obviously you can test it with your own fox at your house. I guess you can go that way and test it, but I don't know. It's like I said, they're nice. They're really good for fox hunting, and I think you're gonna like that one. It'll be interesting to see the handle once you wrap it up. All right, I'm gonna open the floor here. Does anybody have any comments or questions for Kent? If so, please call in with your name and call sign.
This is Kilo Golf 5, Kilo Victor Juliet.
Go ahead, Garrett.
So, Kent, you were describing the apparatus you were looking to purchase or build for your fox hunting antenna, and it reminded me of the old water hole finding sticks that they would use back in the day, where it basically had a wishbone and they would just kind of wave it in a field and hope to find a watering hole. So that's what brought to my mind there. That's all I got. KG5, KVJ, back to that.
Now you mentioned that, yeah, it's funny. It reminds me of that now. Now I can think about that. Well, awesome. Thanks for the comment, Garrett. Anybody else have a comment or question for Kent? If so, please call in with your call sign.
10-5LX.
Go ahead, Sky.
Yeah, just a real quick comment is I didn't really think much about 3D printers until like Kent and some of the other guys on Discord started talking about them, and now they're kind of piquing my interest. I noticed when I was looking for parts for my high power mag loop, there must be a lot of 3D printers out there because there's like a ton of cheap parts available for those things, and some of them are like exactly what I was needing for my mag loop. So I'm going to start looking into that.
Yeah. I haven't seen one in action, but I've seen the stuff that the guys get done with those printers, and it's pretty awesome. I don't know how big those things are, as far as how much real estate they take, but they seem to be pretty useful. And I don't think I'll need one, but yeah, they seem pretty cool for obviously for things like that when you need a very specific part or a case or something like that, where it just makes more sense to just build yourself. So it's a pretty neat thing. It's funny that's it's something available now. It's not it still surprises me. I guess I'm getting old. All right. Well, thank you, Sky, for the comment. Ken, do you have anything else for the net before I let you go?
No, but if y'all ever want to talk more about 3D printing and stuff, I'd be glad to talk about it. I've got, I think this was my 7th 3D printer. I'm finally got down to one that's like an appliance that actually just works, not something I have to tinker with. And I've got a couple of resin printers as well. They print really, really high detailed parts, but they're not as sturdy, I think, as the filament printers. KI5RBT, back to net.
Well, awesome, dude. I guess we should be more active on the 3D printing channel on the Discord server. I haven't, to be quite honest, I haven't been there except for the first few days, but I guess I should check it out and see what the guys have been building. Well, awesome, Ken. Appreciate you checking in, and thanks again also for helping with the net tomorrow. Always nice talking to you, man. All right, let me do a station ID before I get in trouble. All right, this is the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, hosted by the University of Texas Amateur Radio Club, call sign N5XU. Every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. here on the KA5D repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. If you're just joining us and you wish to participate, be sure your tone is set to 97.4. If you are using the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system, be sure your tone is set to 114.8. My name is Ernesto, KI5PZN, and I'm your net control operator for tonight's net. All right, let's do another round of check-ins. If you would like to check in to the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, please call in with your name and call sign.
This is Kilowatt Alpha 5 Charlie. No traffic. Thanks, Ernesto, for running this.
This Kilo Alpha 5 Delta. Kyle.
This is Alpha Charlie 5 Golf Philip.
This is Kilo Charlie 5 Alpha Juliet Echo Chad South Austin.
This is Dan, November 5 Alpha Papa Delta Johnson City.
All right. Got, let's see, 5 people. Court, Kyle, Philip, Chad, and Ben. Thank you guys for calling. All right. KA5C, Court, with no traffic. Thank you for calling in, Court. Appreciate you check in. And then, after that, we have Kyle. KA5D. Kyle, what's going on, man? How is life treating you?
Hey, Ernesto, this is Kyle, KA5D. Life's treating me well. And I think in the world of ham radio, the most recent thing that we've done is, and I'm going to give credit to Rick AI5A for this, is we've put a GPT chatbot on the Packet radio station. So it can be reached by, any number of ways, 2 meter, 70 centimeter, 40 meter, and it's connected to other chat nodes in Round Rock, Hutto, Dallas, College Station, and Bastrop. And interestingly enough, we've been able to give this what is called a pretext, which means that we can tell the chatbot that it has to abide by FCC Part 97 rules. So that's out there, and that's the latest thing for this week. KA5D, back to net.
Well, awesome. All right. So what's you gotta explain a little bit more on that, because I'm not explain like I'm 5, I guess. What does that do? Back to you, Kyle.
Yeah, no problem. So, there is, first of all, on Packet, we have a Packet BBS, which you probably know about, and there is also a chat channel function on that, which you may or may not know about, but you can get in there and chat on Packet Radio. So that's all cool. But what we've added is a new user that sort of lurks in there, kind of like a chat bot that you might see on Discord or maybe some website. But this one is powered by artificial intelligence, AI. It's powered by the GPT-3 engine, and so it is a very smart little thing. And we've programmed it to be concise, to be friendly, to believe that it's a ham radio operator, and to be compelled to follow Part 97 rules. And if you give it a little prefix with, exclamation AI and then some interaction, it'll talk to you. And it's kind of fun. You can ask it any question you want, and it'll give an answer.
Dude, that's pretty cool. So that's okay. So that's within the BBS. Cool. All right, man. That's pretty neat. I have no idea that those things were happening and that the BBSs were still. I know that they're still around because Russ is always talking about the BBS, but not always, but I've heard from him. But that's pretty neat, man. Awesome. All right. Well, let me open the floor to see if anybody have any comments or questions for Kyle. If you do, please call in with your name and call sign.
This is Kilo Golf 5, Kilo Victor Juliet.
Hey, Garrett.
So, Kyle, there's like a bunch of like internet memes and stuff where like Microsoft released that woman AI thing, and they taught her to say all kinds of ridiculous stuff. So, like, are there protections in place to, stop the thing from saying things like Hitler did nothing wrong? Because like that thing will be open to abuse. The college kids like to abuse systems and whatnot. So I'm kind of curious as to if there's protections in place for that. KG5, KVJ, back to you.
That's a good question, and the answer is yes. It turns out that you can program protections into the chatbot. There are some that come natively with it, so it won't respond to certain things Interestingly, one of those things is the word Trump. But also, it won't respond. What we've done is, and that's a native feature, but what we've done is added on a layer of rules, meaning that any communication that it has to abide by FCC Part 97 rules. So the bot reads those rules and abides by it. And there isn't a lot of saved context for it. So every time you start a new conversation with it, it's like you're talking with it for the first time, and it isn't burdened by anything that anyone has said to it before.
That's kind of interesting. So, I mean, Trump, his political career, his career wasn't all political. So it's like, well, like what were Trump's, like financial exploits or that kind of stuff, like that kind of history that it just won't respond to it because Trump's included? Is that kind of what it is?
Yeah, and that's not my doing. That is that's a built-in feature of the ChatGPT engine, which is the latest and most powerful engine. The engine that we're using has some things that the provider builds into it that avoid controversial topics.
Very interesting. That's all I got. KG5, KVJ, back to net control.
Some good question, Garrett. All right. Anybody else have a question or comment for Kyle? Please call in with your name and call sign. All right. Kyle, I appreciate you checking in, man. That was a good check-in. Interesting stuff, for sure. Things to look into, also. Well, actually, before I let you go, do you have anything else for the net?
I appreciate you being there as always. Thanks for running the net tonight. Sounds really great. Back to you, KA5D.
All right, Kyle, appreciate it too, man. Thanks for checking in, and there you have it, the bot abides. All right, let's check now with Philip, AC5G. Philip, what's going on, man? How is life treating you?
Hey, Ernesto. Life is great. I got home and had a box from HRO on the doorstep. So I've got my latest edition of the antenna book to thumb through and a new SDR Play RSPDX to play with. So, yeah, I can't complain here. AC5G, back to net.
Dude, I'm glad to hear that. You're going to be nerding out on that book for sure. And you probably will go through it a lot faster than I have to, because I have to read things 3 or 4 times just to get the concept. And if somebody's looking at me from the outside, probably thinks that, well, I am insane, but cause I have to even do like movement with my hands of what the waves are doing just to try to comprehend the material. But that's a really good book, man. I highly recommend that book, the ARL antenna book. I keep saying it's not just like a book of how to build antennas. It teaches you all kinds of stuff and how everything works before you get to the antennas, I guess, as far as the bands and propagations and everything else. But that's pretty neat, man. I'm glad that arrived. I guess you're joining us on Saturday. I saw your email there. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm planning on being out there testing Saturday morning with y'all.
Well, awesome, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. We're talking about the in-person testing happening this Saturday. For those of you who tune in a little bit late, there's going to be an in-person test happening, the ARL test happening on North Austin this Saturday at 10 a.m. So if you would like to upgrade your license, that's a good opportunity. We are doing it every 3 months, but the next one is coming up this Saturday. So let me know if you have any questions about that, and I can give you the information for that. All right, I have Philip here. If anybody have any questions or comment for him, please call in with your name and call sign. Well, Philip, I appreciate you calling in, man. Do you have anything else for the net before I let you go?
Nothing else. Thanks for running another SO, and Happy New Year. 73, everyone. AC5G.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. You take care. All right, well, this is the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, hosted by the University of Texas Amateur Radio Club, callsign N5XU, every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. here on the KA5D repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. If you're just joining us and you wish to participate, be sure your tone is set to 97.4. If you're using the University Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system, be sure your tone is set to 114.8. My name is Ernesto, KI5PZN, that's Papa Zulu November, and I'm your net control operator for tonight's net. All right, and we are going to check now with Chad, KC5AGE. Chad, what's going on, man? How is the week treating you?
Hey Ernesto, thanks for running the net. Not too bad, can't complain. I'm back at work, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. But yeah, for now I'm just trying to decompress, so I'm out in the garage, tying some flies and listening to the net. KC5AJE, and back to you.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and for those of you listening, Chad posted some pictures of the flies that he's been tying on the weekly wind down net on the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Discord server, so you want to check it out. Those are pretty neat too. Now back to work. Do you work from home or do you have to commute? Back to you, Chad.
Both. I work from home most of the time, but sometimes I have to go to landowners' properties and all over the place. So every once in a while, I have to drive out a ways and go check out a property. KC5AJE, back to net.
Right on. So okay, that doesn't sound too bad. I guess you could do some radio while you are traveling, unless you were using an official vehicle with somebody next to you, but that's, I guess it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. Alright, I got Chad here, KC5AGE. Do you have, does anybody have any questions for him? Any questions or comments, or you just want to say hi, please call in with your name and call sign. All right. Chad, do you have anything else for the net before I let you go?
Oh, no, not much. I don't know if Kyle K5D is still listening, but if you are, I sent you a message on Discord. He asked a question about good flies for Guadalupe bass, and so just wanted to let him know that I sent him a link to a channel, and pretty much everything that guy ties is gold for bass, so that should be a good resource, at least to give you like a shopping list of sorts. KC5AJE, back to net.
You still around?
This is KA5D. Yes, I did, and if that was the note that referenced the Game Changer and a couple of others, I did get that, and thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Anybody else have any questions or comments for Chad? I don't know if I was asking you if you have anything else for the net. I'm kind of confused, Chad. Back to you.
All good, man. Thanks for hosting the net, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. KC5AJE, back to net.
All right, Chad. I appreciate you checking into the net, and thank you for your help as well. All right, let's see. Let me do a station ID. This is the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, hosted by the University of Texas Amateur Radio Club, callsign M5XU, every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. here on the KA5D repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. If you're just joining us and you wish to participate, be sure your tone is set to 97.4. If you're using the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system, be sure your tone is set to 114.8. My name is Ernesto, KI5PZN, and I'm your net control operator for tonight's net. Alright, that was Chad, and we're going to check now with Ben, N5APD. Ben, what's going on, man? How is the week treating you? N5APD from KI5PZN. Ben, are you still around?
Yes, sir. I am still around. Thank you. This is November 5 Alpha Papa Delta. I got to drifting off here looking at the stars in the sky and just in La La Land. So how's my audio here? I'm having a little problems.
Good, man. Every once in a while I hear a little bit of frying on the back, but it's really clear. You have a good audio. Back to you.
Good deal. Thank you. The week has been great, better than I deserve. But I did not get the memo that the rest of the world had shut down on Monday. So I traveled from Johnson City, or High, Texas, back to Austin to do some banking. And only to discover that everybody else knew what I didn't know, but not was all lost. Had a great lunch, had an opportunity to go by a couple of thrift stores and a Goodwill, found a couple of bargains, came across a spool of 500 feet of wire that I was not familiar with. I've kind of done farm and ranching all my life, but this wire was used for dog fencing and cat fencing. I'm going to let that drop there. Anyway, so I picked up this spool of 500 feet of wire for $1, and it's a solid insulated wire, solid copper. So I've been kind of wanting to make some kind of antenna, some kind of temporary portable antenna, something that I could I don't know, I've seen some 30-inch loops or quad loops or something like that, so I'm kind of studying that. But I thought it was a good bargain, and always like to find something like that. But other than that, I have been trying to study a little WinLink, and then trying to study some Morse code, some CW, and trying to grasp all I can. But anyway, all is well, and I appreciate you running the net. This is November 5, Alpha Papa Delta. Back to you.
Well, awesome, Ben. That sounds pretty neat. Glad that you get to see the stars over there where you live. I live in the middle of the city here in East Austin, so I'll have to drive out to get to see some skies. It's funny because I grew up in the country, so I do miss that, and whenever I go back home, it's always nice at nighttime to look up and see the stars and the skies. You're very fortunate. That's pretty cool, man. You get to do that. And on the wire, man, you can't beat that with a stick. That's pretty cool. 500 feet for $1. That's pretty neat, man. And you know, obviously you have plenty of chances of making all kinds of antennas with that wire, with that amount of wire that you got there. If you don't have it, I'll recommend getting that ARL antenna book, because you'll have plenty of things to play with and build with that book. And let me let it reset here for a second. And on the WinLink and CW, I'm with you there. I need to get set up on WinLink, but I'm gonna try to see, I guess, when the guys at the Austin Amateur Radio Club do their their breakfast. I try to go there on Saturday mornings and try to ask some of the guys because I went online and when I check their website, I'm gonna let it reset again. So I don't know how long I have on this repeater. Went to their website and I saw that they have different flavors of of software to download and other things that you need to download as well to make it happen. And because I saw that they have, options, I think I'm just gonna ask so that I don't. Knowing myself, I'm gonna start with with the one that is not the correct one. So I'm gonna ask the guys. But yeah, man, it's funny. I think that's a pretty useful thing to have access to the WinLink. And CW, I'm practicing and working on that. Are you using like an app to learn CW? What are you doing for your CW? Back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Ernesto. Yeah, on the CW, one of the guys from the Highland Lakes Club sold me a really nice unit. I guess it's MFJ. One of the older units, a trainer. It's a 414, 414, and 2 keys. All of it for, I think it was like $40. And this thing looks like it was never used. And then there's an older app. I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, yeah, so I'm all excited about that. I've always wanted to learn how to do that. And, yeah, as far as the WinLink is concerned, I got interested in that. One of the websites, a local club, had some doctors that go to South America and different places, and they kind of look for, in their support team, somebody that can run WinLink in remote areas where you don't have internet access. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I really want to learn that. Anyway, back to you, N5 Alpha Papa Delta.
Yeah, man, that's the thing. That's why I like it, because you get access to email with RF, and that opens a whole bunch of opportunities for doing it from different places. Now on the CW trainer, I'm fairly new on the ham radio universe. I've talked on the radio before, when I was younger on CB, and so I'm used to talking, but I'm not that used to the everything else that's happening in the background on ham radio. So how does that CW trainer work? Is it like a little radio that beeps back to you, or I have no idea. If you don't mind, I'm sharing that back to you. This is KF5PZN.
Yeah, Ernesto, it's got a complete screen to it. Not only do you can key into it and it'll read it out, but it'll work both ways. It's I guess the next model up, I don't remember what it is, but I think from MFJ that thing was like $240 originally new. So I'm still trying to get used to this. It's not the little tutor, it's not the little portable tutor, but I'm all excited about it and trying to figure out the best way to learn this. But I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. N5 APD, back to you.
Well, awesome, and yeah, I agree. It's I'm still I'm learning, and it's fun. It's like a fun game to do. So I'm into it, and I know it's gonna take me a while, but that's neat, man. Thanks for sharing that. Appreciate it. And yeah, all of those things are pretty neat. All right, well, let me open it up here for comments or questions. Does anybody have any comment or question for Ben? If so, please call in with your name and call sign.
Kilo Alpha 5 Delta.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, I just wanted to mention earlier, you were showing interest in WinLink, and there is a WinLink station at UT that's available through Packet Radio. And if you're ever interested in getting on there, well, maybe we could work through it.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that. there's just tons of research going on trying to figure out the avenue to go, but I didn't realize it was something local that I could check into. N5 APD, back to you. Thank you.
Cheers. Kilo Golf 5, Kilo Victor Juliet.
Hi, Garrett.
Wanted to say just thanks for shooting down the packet radio and WinLink avenue. That's a lot of humanitarian organizations do use that, and the email stuff. It seems like it's complicated, but it isn't that complicated. So please hit up Kyle and try and get connected to that because it will open up a world of humanitarianism stuff to you. KG5 KVG at Net.
Thank you, Garrett, for
okay, well, thank you. Any of those things are humanitarian. I'm always interested in that stuff. Some of these doctors in South America, and of course I've got the Ukraine and Poland on my mind, and I don't really have anything tying me down. There's a lot of possibilities, but I want to learn as much as I can about WinLink and maybe be utilized somewhere, to benefit them. Anyway, November 5 Alpha Papa Delta. November 5 Alpha Papa Delta. Back to you.
And we could take it from there too, but yeah, I'm interested in setting that up as well. Anybody have any questions or comment for Ben? If so, please call in with your name and call sign.
Oh, it's a dang near perfect double.
I'll let you go. Ben, do you have anything else for the net before I let you go?
No, Ernesto, I appreciate it. I'm always excited to hear about fishing reports and antennas and tractors and all the radio stuff. I'm just really enjoying it. I'm all new to this. It's just exciting to be learning stuff again. Anyway, thank you much. Appreciate everybody's help. November 5 Alpha Papa Delta, back to you.
All right, Ben, I appreciate you checking into the net, man. Pleasure talking to you. And we got, have another net tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, too, in case you're around. But all right, well, you are listening to the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, hosted by the University of Texas Amateur Radio Club, call sign N5XU, every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. here on the KA5D repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. If you're just joining us and you wish to participate, be sure your tone is set to 97.4. If you're using the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system and you wish to participate, be sure your tone is set to 114.8. My name is Ernesto, KI5PZN, and I'm your net control operator for tonight's net. All right, let's open it up again for check-ins. If you would like to check into tonight's net, please call in with your name and call sign.
KF5, JLE, John.
All right. KI5JLE, I believe. John, what's going on, man? How is the week treating you?
Yeah, correction. Kilo Fox 5, Juliet Lima Echo. So far, so good, Ernesto.
Awesome, man. Thanks for the correction there. Apologize for the error there. How was your oh my goodness, your New Year's celebration? You had any fun, or were you chilling at the house?
New Year's, we just kind of laid low. Wife